And we're back here, Skyhawk Sports Talk, the final episode of 2024-25. It is here. It is now. Chris, I might cry.
No, we'll be back next year. It's all good.
I know, but still, it's an emotional time. It's almost, graduation is almost up for our athletes and all the great students at UT Martin as well. And, this is probably the last time we're going to talk with our coaches for the year, too.
They'll come back. It's all good.
I know, I'm just getting sentimental. I need to get out of my emotions right now. We need to focus in on having a good show.
Yep.
And we are. We've got some great guests lined up. It's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah. That's the magic of sports. There's always next season. Even when you have a great season, there's next season. When you have a bad season, there's next season.
You get to reset, and there's a whole nother year. A whole nother year.
So what's going on this week?
Yeah, let's get into this week at Skyhawk Athletics. Golf right now competing in the OVC Championships at Dalhousie Golf Club in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Currently in second place, and Jonathan Zoenis leads the field at 4 under. That is going Sunday through Wednesday, so that'll wrap up things for the Skyhawks on Wednesday, and currently in a good position just right behind Little Rock on the leaderboard. For rodeo, they will be at Northwest Mississippi Community College Friday through Saturday in Senatobia, Mississippi, and then Stunt has their national championships Thursday through Saturday in Nashville, Tennessee. Track and field will be at the Alumni Classic Friday through Saturday in Jonesboro, Arkansas, hosted by Arkansas State. Beach volleyball, the number 2 seed in the Ohio Valley Conference Beach Volleyball Championships, hosted in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It will be a matchup between either the 3 seed or 6 seed for UT Martin at 3 p.m. on Thursday, between either Morehead State being the 3, Eastern Illinois the 6, and then the next round would be Friday, and Saturday will be the final rounds to decide a champion. Baseball, tomorrow taking on Belmont at 5 p.m. at home to conclude a season-long 7-game homestand, and then they'll be on the road to take on Tennessee Tech in the OVC Weekend Series Friday at 6, Saturday at 2, Sunday at 1, and then softball, they will have a midweek against Southern Illinois in Carbondale at 4, and then senior weekend versus Tennessee State. That will be a doubleheader on Saturday at noon and 2:30, and then Sunday taking on the Tigers at noon. And that's going to do it for this week in Skyhawk Athletics.
Quite a bit. Don't forget to go to UTM Sports, follow the Skyhawks on social media, or hang out with us for the next hour and learn more.
Yeah, you will want to. All right, you will want to keep it right here. We'll go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here, Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, they still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And we're back, Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory with Chris Brinkley, our first guest of the show from the UT Martin baseball team. It's Peeko Townsend, senior outfielder from Pontotoc, Mississippi, and also went to Pontotoc High School, transferred to UT Martin from Blue Mountain College, where he was an All-American over there and a real slugger right now for the UT Martin baseball team. Peeko, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So your nickname, Peeko, where did that come from? Because your real name is Ardarius, but where did Peeko come from?
Well, like when I was a kid, my mom and dad, like I'm talking like firstborn, my mom and dad said like I look Mexican, and I was like, huh? And they said ever since then, they called me Peeko ever since then. When I was a little kid, they said I look Mexican.
So they just called you Peeko from that moment.
Do you like it? Is it good?
I love it.
I think it's great.
I like it better than my real name.
Yeah.
No, texted me because I was like, oh, well, what's your real name at Media Day? He goes, well, it's Ardarius. I was like, okay, so I put it in there. He texted me and he's like, hey, can we change it to Peeko? Yeah, sure, absolutely, we can change it. Yeah. But then now we have the backstory. We have the origin story. Now, baseball, your origin story with that. Growing up, when did you start playing?
I say I started playing like around 4 or 5, like T-ball, when I first could pick up a bat and swing a bat. I say around then. And I fell in love with the game ever since. Were
you always a home run hitter?
Kind of.
Just a little bit.
I don't want to brag, but kind of.
But you always had pop in the bat ever since then.
I mean, you look like a home run hitter.
Yeah. For people who are faithful listeners and they've watched this podcast all year round, we talked to Jinx about you. We talked to TJ and Brody and Garner and Wager, everybody, and we mentioned Peeko. Now people can match, a face with a name. And you see why this guy is hitting all these home runs about 500 feet. When did you start? Because a lot of guys have talked about when you started lifting weights and things like that. You didn't start really lifting a lot until you got here, correct? Or was it before that?
It was, I say, high school.
Okay.
Like once I started playing football, I say I started lifting like pretty heavy because I mean, like at one point in my life I was a pretty big fat kid, and I turned all my fat into muscle. So I say high school when I started playing football.
Was that something then that you just started to love to do? Was just go and work out?
I mean, yeah, I kind of like working out. Besides the part when when I start hurting a little bit, but like other than that, I love working out.
Yeah.
So with home runs, how much is technique and how much is just strength?
Well, all my life, like my high school coaches told me that I don't know how to use my lower half, so like it's pretty much upper body. But now I've like figured out how to use my lower half, so I say some of it's strength and then some of it's like technique put into it too.
Explain that, because you don't think about legs in baseball unless you're stealing bases, but you use your legs 100% of the time.
100%.
What have you learned?
I've learned that like once you like figure out the mechanics to like get into your legs, you hit the ball way farther than what you think you can hit the ball. And that's what most of my coaches taught me. Like when I got to college, they taught me how to use my legs, and ever since then I've been using my legs, hitting the ball farther than what I can imagine.
Yeah, even with pitching, legs are everything. Yeah. I think people forget that a little bit. So on workout days, you work out your legs too?
I do. Well, I like upper body. I like my upper body. I mean, like I do love doing legs as well too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what they say? You
What?
can't spell legendary without leg day.
I didn't know that.
Can't spell legendary without
Davis
leg
works
day.
out. You know.
No.
Not
not
that.
as much as Peeko. No, not as much as Peeko.
What are some home run memories pre-UT Martin?
Definitely the home run at Sanford Sanford. That was definitely the one, because I mean, like throughout that day, I was doing bad. I was striking out. I was down on myself, and I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna have this moment. I'm gonna have one moment where I gotta hit the ball and put the team on top, and I did, and I was so overwhelmed with joy, and that was the best moment right there. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It was probably the loudest that I've ever heard our field ever.
Yeah.
And then also, it was a lot of people were sitting there thinking that it went foul. And we've had the foul ball, fair ball controversy with every baseball player. We've asked them their opinion on it. Of course, you're going to say it was a fair ball, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, and the guy, so take us through that at bat then, because now we've got you to talk about it. He throws you a fastball on 2-1, a 2-1 fastball. I mean, I've seen you swing the bat hard, and that was your power swing. And that ball, I don't even know how it even still existed after it met the bat. What's going through your mind throughout that at bat whenever you step into the batter's box to the point when the ball leaves your bat?
Well, I mean, at that point, it's just like, well, I did it. I mean, I hit the ball. I mean, my team won. I just hit my team win. So I mean, like at that point, I was like, it's like, thank you, because like before then, I was up there striking out. I was down on myself. I was like, come on, please, just do it. And I did it. I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Had the moment.
Yes.
Had to have the moment. What is there a better feeling in baseball than hitting a home run? What does that feel like for us that have never been able to get that feeling off the bat of you square one up and it feels like nothing, and you just look up and a ball's going 100 miles an hour into the air?
I don't think there's definitely the best feeling in the world, but it's like let me see. I can't find a comparison right now. It's like. I don't know. It's just a great feeling, because like you square the ball up and it goes a really long way.
Yeah. Well, and in other sports, like even in football and basketball,
It's like throwing a touchdown. I can say that.
But no, it's
Yeah.
bigger than that, because
Right.
in other sports, a defender can do something about it. When
Right.
you hit a home run, you're like, you can't even legally
right.
do anything about this because I've just taken you out of the.
You
like,
have-
you've
you have
taken
to-
every fielder out of the game, and you just now you're a spectator too. Watch this.
You have
Right.
to admire what I just did.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody is watching that ball fly and knowing, oh, that guy right there hit it.
Yeah.
And everyone is, oh, okay. And they just get to watch you run around the bases there for a couple of seconds.
That's a great.
But
feeling
you
right there.
can't. Now, I don't know this for real because I only played wiffle ball at a high level, but you can get home run fever, and that's also dangerous, right?
Mhm.
Explain
Very
what
dangerous.
is home run fever.
Home run fever. I say like you just hit home runs. Like you just got that. I don't know. Like you just built for that. I don't know, home runs. I have no
Yeah.
idea. Like, you just got that fever. Like, you just can't miss the baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you had home run fever?
I say
A few times.
Yeah, I say last year, my season at Blue Mountain, I say I had home run fever. I was seeing the ball like a beach ball. I say,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I say that's pretty.
When you walk into a stadium that you've never seen before, what do you? I mean, obviously you're looking at the outfield wall, right? What are you looking at?
Most of the time, like if I'm playing outfield, I go out there and look at see if they have holes in the field or anything like that. But most of the time, I do look at the dimensions of the field and see where I can hit a ball. I mean, not on a brag saying but I know I can hit the ball any part of the field. But I do look at the dimensions and see where I can actually get a ball out and hit a ball out.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the strategy of the mind. That's the strategy of the game. Is okay. I know I can get it out anywhere, but this is going to give me the best shot. If this ball goes over there, fielder doesn't really have a chance to get it, depending on how deep they're playing, how short they're playing, and things like that. But also, it's just a part of the game. It's I got to find my spot on where I know when I time it up. That's where I'm trying to put the ball.
Right.
So another guy that. He was known for his speed at UT Martin, Caleb Hobson. You and Caleb are really good friends. Talk about that relationship.
Well, me and Caleb, we've been real good friends since kids. We played baseball in high school. We played travel ball against each other. We played baseball in JUCO. But we really grew up playing baseball together, and we've been close friends ever since. I talk to him pretty much every single day. I love the kid, man. He's a good baseball player. I can tell you that for a fact.
For people who don't know, Caleb Hobson, the most recent UT Martin baseball player to be drafted in the Colorado Rockies organization right now, and he's playing some good ball.
He is playing really good ball. I talk to him every once in a while. He's been doing good, hitting home runs, getting on base, and definitely that speed. That speed is one of a kind. I can tell you.
It is. It's unbelievable. When he would get on base, you gave him a double. He was going to get second base, and then if you weren't scared, I mean, he was going to get third base too.
Right.
I mean, you had to keep watching him the whole time through and make sure that you were going to have your tabs on him, and you too can steal your bases. A lot of people would be thinking, "Oh, just a home run hitter." No, you can. You've got some speed, Peeko. You can get from first to second pretty fast.
Yes, sir.
And what goes into that then after you've probably barreled up a ball and you've got it through a single and then you're on first base? What's the technique to getting a stolen base?
Technique. Well, we got a really good base stealing coach, Coach DuPont. He tells us to get a certain length and lead and get a little cheat step. And once you get your cheat step, go straight to the bag instead of going back and go straight to the bag. But he definitely taught me how to steal the bag proper way. And once he told me that, then I was head over heels. It's time to go.
It's probably the dumbest question anybody's ever asked you, but at a younger age, have you ever hit an inside the park home run?
I'm trying to think.
You probably laugh at those, don't you?
If it's not going over the wall, I don't think Peeko wants it.
I think I probably have hit a inside the park home run, but I like the long ball where I can jog.
Of course.
You can get your steps in at a very calm and patient pace, and everybody has to wait on you.
Right.
It's you let the music play longer for the home run sound, and then when you hit one on the road, everybody's got to be quiet, and no one wanted you to hit it, and everybody's just got to watch you run around.
Right.
That just like we talked about earlier.
Tell us about your family.
My family. I got my mom. I love my mom very much. Tiki Shibiri. My dad. I love my dad as well. I have 4 brothers. I got 2 sisters, and I love them very much. I got I actually have a younger brother that's playing baseball. He's gonna be a left-handed pitcher. I hope he's gonna be. Well, I don't want to say hope, but I feel like he's gonna be pretty good. Yeah. But,
have you batted against him recently?
I have. He wants me to get in the box, but I was like,
I don't want to hurt you.
I want to hurt your pride right now.
Where do you fall in age?
I'm kind of the middle. So I got 2 older brothers, then it's me, and then I got 2 younger brothers.
So with your younger brothers, would you let them win something just to?
Well, my youngest brother probably so, but my second to the youngest brother,
no.
He's kind of I can't do that.
Are you the most competitive?
I say we are competitive.
Okay.
We argue about everything. We can argue about football, which is what I played in high school. We can argue about balls and strikes when we play like football in the yard. But yeah, I say we all competitive.
How far can you hit a wiffle ball?
I have no idea.
I bet you would dent the ball.
Yeah, you might.
Well, I bet you would, or crack it, because
I definitely cracked one before.
Yeah, no doubt. It broken in half. Half of it goes that way, and half of it goes
the other way. They both go over the fence. You cut it for 2 runs.
Yeah.
You have like the gate. Did you ever play? Not MLB, and not MLB the Show, but did you ever play the Bigs?
Bigs. I don't think I played that before.
The big, it had Prince Fielder on the cover of the second one. Albert Pujols was on the cover of the
really
first
old
one.
then, right?
And this was when Prince Fielder was on the Brewers. And there's some in there like you could supercharge. Like if you got enough points, you could supercharge and get 1 automatic home run.
Oh.
And when you hit it, it would go like 1,000 miles in there. Like when you played at Camden Yards, if you hit one, it would go and hit the warehouse and knock the windows out of the warehouse.
And that's what he could do naturally.
That's what Peeko's doing to every single. There are people who get nervous for their light poles in the outfield. Peeko shows up to the field. That's what it is. Now there also were 2 light poles that were destroyed. Garner Anderson was the first one to do it. Ball gets skied up in the air, light pole behind the Morehead State dugout. Ball gets so high and goes so fast enough, it knocks a light bulb out of the light bulb.
Wow. Yeah.
That was on Friday.
Right.
And then Jordan Hudson gets up there on Saturday, hits one to the same light pole behind Morehead State's dugout.
Wow.
Glass shatters. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Were you like, guys, just get it to go a little bit like more straight, you know? little less up and to the right and more straight, you know?
Right.
You got to teach these guys. Peeko,
Home run derby, if we had one here after the season was over, which teammate would be most competitive?
Most competitive. I say probably Brody and Gardner too. Gardner can run it out too. I'd say Brody and Gardner.
Okay. Yeah, we should do that.
We talked about Brody and you in the home run chase. He said you hit one at EIU and he goes, yeah, no, I'm not catching him this year. And then you added on another one this weekend. And I think his hopes are dwindling down about trying to catch you up in home runs.
Well, he did tell me. He was like he was ahead of me at one point. He was like, "Oh, now you're not catching me." I was like, "All right."
That's all you needed.
Just stay right there.
That's all you needed. No, he has. He stayed right. See, he talked some trash and he got his karma.
Your answer was really, all right.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got you. I'll show you.
I'll show you what I'm about to do.
No, the people who can do it don't have to talk. They just go, all right.
No. Oh, okay. Ping, ping.
Thanks for telling me that.
Yeah, just out of the ballpark completely. So we talked to TJ about this too, and I want your opinion. How much can you bench, first of all?
Bench. I'll probably say 3, if not. I'll probably say about 300 pounds.
Okay.
Like that.
Do you think if you and Coach Jenkins got into a weightlifting competition, who could squat more, who could bench more, who would win?
He's a little younger.
Who can deadlift? Have you seen?
Yeah,
we talked to Coach
I
Jenkins.
know.
I don't know. I say Coach Jenkins. He's a pretty strong guy. He be in there lifting with us sometimes. I say Coach Jenkins can get me. I mean, I wouldn't be too far behind him, but I say. He
Okay, so you say that he gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
But if you worked on it, you could catch him?
Oh yeah, I definitely could catch him. I feel like I could.
I was about to say the first part of your statement was you're just trying to get. If he goes back and watches this, you're trying to get him to not bunch you next time that you're up to the plate. And you're trying to get an AB, and then that second part I was like, oh, okay, now Peeko's going to get bunted, whenever anybody's on first now. Oh my goodness. Well, Peeko, thanks so much for your time, mate. Good luck here in this weekend and tomorrow as well. Got Belmont coming up and then Tennessee Tech this weekend. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here, Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
We're back here at Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis, Gregory, Chris Brinkley now joining us from the UT Martin Stunt team who has their national championships coming up this weekend. It's Emily Wood Jr. from Charlotte, Tennessee. Went to Creekwood High School and a major in nursing. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You got your class schedule going on, so we have to get you on here early so you can get to your class. Is it a nursing class?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So I'm majoring in nursing and then minoring in business.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. All right.
That's a lot of opportunities out there, and recession-proof job too.
Literally,
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know much about Charlotte. Tell me about Charlotte.
It's a small town. It's right outside of Dixon, or it's like in Dixon, Tennessee. You drive like 45 minutes outside of Nashville. It's not that far.
Okay, so you're close to Dixon.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
No, Dixon's good.
I stop at Dixon.
I like the Bojangles in Dixon. The
Yeah.
Bojangles is my favorite part. It's
Yeah.
it's the best part about any road trip. So Charlotte, Tennessee. What is there to do in Charlotte, Tennessee?
Not much until you drive like 25 minutes to Dixon.
Until you get to Dixon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then there goes our Selman on what to do in Charlotte, Tennessee. I think every single time we've asked that question to any of our athletes, it's always been like, well, you got to drive here to actually, do whatever you want to do.
There's like a couple restaurants, but there's like nothing really to do there. But that's okay.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's talk about Creekwood High School. What was your experience like in high school and cheerleading and stuff like that there?
Oh, it was good. I ended up going while I was in high school. I also took like college classes, and they were really great about that. I cheered for 3 years under my coach, Ronnie Walton. Love her. She was amazing. And we went to nationals, and we would go to finals and stuff like that. So it was really nice, and she was like a really good coach.
In your opinion, what made her a good coach? What were 3 qualities that made her a good coach?
She was very organized, and if you had a problem, she was always the first person right there to fix it. And just the way she ran her team, the team dynamics of it was really good.
That's great.
Are you an organized person?
Sometimes. It just depends on the day.
Yeah.
No, that's 100%. If I'm focused,
You're more organized than I am, but I think.
Okay, all right. No, absolutely not. So let's talk about your number 76.
Yeah.
So stunt, you all get to choose your numbers. I know that was something that was a thing that a lot of players are very excited about. Why did you choose number 76?
The number 7 was taken, and the number 76, it was my mom's birth year, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that.
That's awesome. Okay, I love that.
And then you told your mom.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, look at this jersey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did she know it whenever you showed it to her? Or did you have
she
to
was like,
explain?
why'd you pick that? And I was like, that was the year you were born,
Yeah.
So she didn't get it quite off
I'm
the bat.
impressed you even knew. I bet you can't tell me the year your mom was. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Yes, I can.
You do know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm proud of you.
No, there was one time I went to the doctor's office and they were like, what was your mom's birth date? And my exact quote out of my mouth was, oh boy. I did not know. I did not know at all. But that was.
But I'm impressed that you did that, though.
Yes. That's something that she'll remember
Yeah.
forever. And if you get a jersey framed or anything like that, she love it. Perfect Mother's Day gift.
Oh.
Right there. Perfect Mother's Day gift. You can have one loaded up right there. Favorite thing, back to your hometown, what's your favorite thing to do in Charlotte?
Ooh. I think I like going to the Dairy Queen.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
going to the Dairy Queen there, and then like going to the Mexican restaurant. It's kind of like Martin here, but there's not a university. It's just like a couple restaurants. Maybe you have like one place to do something. There's a ballpark there. Sometimes we go walk around there.
So being from a small town, that made it an easy choice to then come here to UT Martin. What were some of the factors in then deciding here to come over?
Probably Miss Amber. She really pushed me to come here and stuff like that. I
So
loved
did you know her before? No. Okay, go ahead.
my first interaction with her. It was a crazy one. I was like, I don't know if I want to come here. She's like, just try out, just come, try out, stuff like that. And also the nursing program here, like one of the best in the state. So I love the professors here, and I love how like hands-on they are with the students.
Do you have a specific type of nursing you want to do?
Oh, I would love to do flight nursing.
Okay. And tell the listeners what that means, or the viewers.
Basically, you're not in a hospital, you're not in a clinical setting, you're up in a helicopter,
Yeah.
and you're just right there, hands-on care.
Yeah, and we have the air evac here. You have to see them in Martin all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, that's very intense. Why? Why that? Why? Don't know.
I wanted to do like EMT or paramedic, but they didn't make what I wanted to make, and I was like, you know what? We'll compromise here. We'll be in a helicopter. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and those jobs are growing, right?
Yes,
I mean, that
they
field is
are.
growing a lot. Yeah.
What did your parents think about you wanting to be in a helicopter? and doing that?
They're all for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you flown in a helicopter?
once.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, oh well, this seems not that bad. I might as well do this.
But no, it's definitely intense because most of the patients that you're with are needing to go somewhere quickly.
Yeah.
And then you are there in this space taking care. That's very noble, I think. Yeah.
And it's a very small space to.
Yes.
To have you had any classes where they've taught you about how to work in that?
Not yet.
So it's one pilot and 2 nurses usually. Yeah. Okay. And then the patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally, like, they'll have 2 nurses on the side, or a paramedic and a nurse, and the patient is right in the middle of you. So you're just, like, grabbing things off and, like, doing whatever you need to do.
And then the pilot, who's not medically
Well, it just
It could
depends.
be.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I know you have to have like so many flight hours to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He could be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
He could throw it in autopilot and then come back there.
I don't
and
think
help.
you can do autopilot in a helicopter, but maybe.
One day they could.
That's right.
You never
If you have
know.
self-driving cars. Yeah.
Maybe he flies the helicopter at the same time as he's helping. That's or she.
That's right.
That's or you could get your. Would you get your pilot's license or your pilot's license you would need for a helicopter?
Would you rather be a helicopter pilot or a doctor?
Oh, helicopter pilot. Doctor's a lot of years.
That is a lot of
and a lot of money
a lot
Yes.
of education. Yeah.
and a lot of money as
Mhm.
well. Nursing school. So after graduating from here, where would you want to go for nursing school?
Oh, I think I would like to go into ICU because you have to have so many years in like an ICU or ER. So I'd love to go into ICU. I'm trying to get an internship right now at one of them, and then from there just get all my certifications that I need, and then move on to flight nursing.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Where will you be looking for? Somewhere close to home, or somewhere close to Martin? Or I mean, it is early.
Probably either in Nashville or in Dixon, just because maybe even here too, because they have like more hands-on and less people are going for those jobs, so it makes it easier for people that are going into it.
Gotcha. Getting into stunt. What's been your favorite thing about being a part of the stunt team?
Ooh, I love the stunt team. I would almost dare say I love stunt more than cheerleading. I think it's the fact that we're treated like a sport and it has all the qualities and stuff like that. Like I love to stunt in general. So I'm like, oh, like I'm not having to dance or anything like that. I can just like focus on what I need to do, and if it falls, it falls. But if it doesn't, it's like, oh, you can get a point for that.
Oh, yeah. So what is something that you like to do outside of stunt?
Oh, I love to fish and I love to read books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Favorite book or series of books?
Ooh. I don't know.
I
really
put you
can't
on the
pick one.
spot.
Do you have a
I'm sorry.
genre? Do you have a type of book?
I like the romance books.
Yeah.
Hate
Okay.
to say, yeah.
Yeah. No, we
Twilight.
talked. Yeah. No. Twilight.
Is Twilight romance?
Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colleen's good.
Yeah.
He knows Colleen.
I know
Yeah.
Colleen. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
she's a good author.
hmm
Have you seen? She has. Have you read a lot of her books or just some?
Not many of them.
Well, now we're seeing in the romance world so many of the authors are turning the books into movies or
Mhm.
TV shows.
Yeah.
And
I think the one that she recently turned into a movie, I didn't even watch it. I couldn't finish that book.
oh, you didn't
I
like
got-
the book?
I got bored of it, and I was like, I don't
Okay.
even think I'm going to watch the
Yeah.
movie.
No, it was a little slower. The new
Mhm.
book is a little more intense. It's
Mhm.
romance/drama. So
Yeah.
we'll
Ooh.
see. Yeah, it comes out next year. They're filming it now. She's with the crew.
Oh, good for Colleen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you need to give us your Colleen updates from time to
So
time.
how she's doing? She's doing well. She's making a lot of
She's
money.
making a lot of money.
She's
Making a lot of
money.
cash.
Fishing. What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Oh, I actually went deep sea fishing in Alabama,
Wow.
and I ended up catching like a red snapper, and then we actually caught a shark too, but it was like that big.
And she says, and I don't know, we call it a shark. I don't know.
Well, actually, I haven't caught anything. I did catch a great white shark.
And you reeled it in and everything?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're hard to reel in. Fish out in the ocean are so much harder to reel in than in like a lake. So I'm sitting there like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, it takes so much strength too, because they
Mhm.
are. It's different than trying to get in, a 5-pound
Yeah.
bass, which is a pretty good sized fish.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to bring in this 100-pound fish.
Oh, I ain't catching anything that
Well, they
big.
can't take in on the ocean. It can take an hour just to reel it in, right? Yeah, I mean, it can.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? That takes a lot of patience.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got the patience for that. I'm more, I'll go out there, I'll recast and everything. If you're going to stay on the line that
Yeah.
long, you might as well hop off. I just, you need to cooperate after at least a minute. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
this is going to happen. You're going to get over here, and I just.
But to your credit, you always let them go. You catch.
Yeah,
and
no, I
release.
catch and release.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cook them. I wouldn't. I don't know how to cook them either. Are you catch and release? You cook
Whenever we go fishing in the lake, yes, but whenever we're in the ocean, no.
That's understandable because red snapper is.
Yeah, it's
I've heard
good.
it's really good.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best red snapper you've ever had? Where at?
Oh, probably in Alabama. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that they cook it. We went to, I think it's Dolphin Island, Alabama. It's really good.
Awesome. That is going to be good.
Yeah.
good.
Red snapper is on the menu, Chris.
Yep.
This is our last podcast episode, so Chris is going to have to cook for all of us that
I'll buy. I
that
can't.
have worked so hard. Every single athlete that has come on, you're going to have to.
In the history of this podcast?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Everybody, it's going to be
Oh.
a big campfire. We're going to get everybody there. Zaxby's is going to sponsor it. They don't know that right now, but they will. There you go.
Tell us about what you got coming up in stunt.
Oh, we got nationals. Obviously,
Yeah.
we leave Wednesday to go practice in Nashville. I don't know if we're at Trevecca's campus, Lipscomb, Belmont. It's still up in the air. We don't know much about it yet. We're figuring it all out.
So you'll be
tonight.
closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Will you have family there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
As you all get prepared for that, what do the preparations look like getting ready to compete?
We're mainly running quarter 4 just all out because we're a really strong quarter 4 team. Some of the other level or like some of the other quarters we lack in a little bit, so we're really hitting hard with the quarter 4 because teams are tired. Teams don't want to, they're tired. It's at the end of the game, so that's where we're putting our strongest suit at.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're expecting a really great time there at Nationals. Emily, thanks so much for joining us here on
Thank
this
you so
episode.
much.
We'll go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here, Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
We return here to Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee. Davis Gregory with Chris Brinkley. Now joining us from the UT Martin track and field team, it's Khalid White, native of Memphis, Tennessee. Went to Memphis Central High School and a junior for the Skyhawk track and field team. Khalid, thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate you.
So whenever we founded sounds weird. You founded a podcast when you established the podcast.
Yeah.
The Khalid commented he wanted to be on the podcast.
No way. Yeah.
The very first year, so a whole year ago,
Yep.
or a little bit more than a
Yeah.
year ago now,
Yep.
you want to be on the podcast, and here we are.
No, I'm here.
It's a red letter day.
Coach Lita, I texted her, who do you want? She
Yeah.
said Khalid.
Yeah.
There we
See,
go.
I seen a couple of my teammates come here now. I thought I'd never get a chance to, but
No, well, you're here now.
now I'm here.
Now,
This is
look,
it.
patience pays off.
Yep.
We get you free Zaxby's,
Of
and
course.
now we
Nah.
get you on here to talk nice about all your teammates and
Yep.
everything like that. And
Yep.
you have your one shining moment. Here
Yep.
it is. We're going to maximize this opportunity right now.
I'm
It's gonna be
glad.
great.
Can I'm going to tell you something that has nothing to do with your sport.
Uh-huh.
You could host your own podcast. You could start your own podcast.
Tell you the truth, I'm honestly starting. I have a streaming setup at home.
I
So-
knew this was going to happen.
I've been thinking about getting into streaming. So
Yeah.
this is just to
Okay.
get me comfortable with
Yes.
just
What are
talking.
you gonna? What's the content? What are you?
Well, I play the game a lot, so just being able to engage with people who come see me play the game and just talk about whatever.
What game?
Anything. Right now, I just play a lot of COD, so
Okay.
A lot
yeah.
of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So it's like Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok.
Okay, and you're entertaining,
Yeah.
and you're talented, and you're athletic. We
Why
got
not?
that's
The
a triple
influencer
threat.
right here.
Yeah,
We
triple
got an
threat right
influencer
there.
with us.
Absolutely.
Call of Duty. What's your favorite Call of Duty game? Ever.
Tell you the truth, the one that came out in 2019. A lot of people say
Oh,
Black
Modern
Ops.
Warfare.
Yeah, a lot of people say Black Ops, but I ain't really play the game a lot. Then it's kind of more outside.
The
but
first Black Ops?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
but-
That was early, well, not
Yeah.
early 2000s,
Just-
but it was around
like
the
the
09,
20,
08.
the
You
2010s.
play too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sad to admit. You know why I can't play those games?
Why not?
Motion sickness.
Look,
it's too much.
yeah, they got the new settings on the game where you can turn it off. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
way you can turn it on if you do a motion sickness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna subscribe
We
to
need
your
to get-
Twitch
Look.
channel or YouTube, and then you teach me how to do that.
I appreciate it.
What's going to be your name so people can follow?
Well, it's Kiddo. So KHI, 3 Ds and 2 O's.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
Yep.
Yeah, I
That-
like it.
Now you got to come up with merch.
Yo, got to just the whole brand. Just put myself out
Hey,
there.
build the brand up. You
Got
got to
to.
build the brand up. Well, of course, thanks so much for coming here to UT Martin,
For
and then
sure.
also, all the other things then to bring attention to the university as well with streaming and stuff like that. So, talk about first year high school and I guess childhood as well. Were you always the fastest?
Tell you the truth, yeah. I always been.
Okay.
I always been the one that people looked at. Knew I was gonna be
He's fast.
just because every time we did something, it was just I was always first. So I just enjoyed. I tell you the truth, I really didn't get into running until middle school. I played more just whole football and basketball, but
Yeah.
my first time running, I guess the coach just seen something in me and just kind of just nurtured me from there and just kind of fell in love with
Yeah,
it.
but even kids are always wanting, especially boys, want to race each other. So
Yeah.
even you were little, you could
Yeah,
do
I always just win it. Just tell you, let's race down the street to the flagpole or something.
Yeah,
I'm
you
always
would win.
just beating everybody.
And they call
Yeah.
they ring the bell for you to line up and get ready to go back in, and it was the race to see who's going to be at the head of the
Yeah.
line.
So
You were at the head of the line by a couple steps.
who can be the first one at the door?
Okay. And you were there.
Always.
Always the line leader. Khalid.
Always.
It didn't matter if that was your job because they always had lists of like who was the job, and it's like, oh well, Khalid's here. Might as well be the line leader now.
The one leading the pack.
Yeah,
Why not?
Whoever's in second place is 15, steps behind.
Yeah, probably more so my friend. Just a little friendly competition.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
So,
always you got to love.
Tell him you'll give me next time, but the next time you still don't give me.
No, not at all. Not at all. So OVC freshman of the year when you come here to UT Martin. First of all, why UT Martin?
Oh, why UT Martin? Tell you the truth, that first initial conversation with Coach Lita, I kind of just knew like this was the school for me, and coming from Memphis, more so a big city, and coming here at Martin is more like a small town. It's like I needed that, just get away from home and just come here, and it's like I'm able to just focus on just running school and just lock in on myself, and just it paid off.
Did you know growing up anything about Martin or Northwest Tennessee?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all. Like when I heard of the name, I seen like a couple of people that I went to school with, like just in the they graduated before I did.
Mm-hmm.
They went here, and it's like, but I still didn't know about the school. So when I finally just did my research, and I was like, it ain't that bad. It's not.
Yeah.
No,
But there's a bit. I mean, we're all West Tennessee, but there is a difference between Martin and Memphis, obviously.
Big difference. Big difference.
Yeah.
Way bigger city. Just obviously not as much to do here compared to there, but it's you can find things to do to just I won't say just pass the time, but enjoy the time.
Yeah.
10 to 20 years from now, are you going to live in a big city or are you going to live in a smaller town?
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I'm fine with the country. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Was that hard to adapt to whenever you got here at first?
I mean, a little bit, because you just used to just anything. You could just do anything at any moment when you're in a big city, just stuff everywhere. But here it's more spaced out. So it was an adjustment, but I feel like I adjusted pretty well. So
yeah.
Growing up with football, basketball, and then track, how did you decide on, okay, I'm going to run mainly and I'm going to leave football and basketball?
Tell you the truth, in high school, I got a concussion. And it was
in football or basketball?
Football.
Okay.
Got blindsided, and when I got up, I don't know.
Playing days were what year is this in high school?
That was my freshman year. I was starting varsity, and it was like, I don't know, I can't do it no more.
No. Well, you don't want to mess around with anything like that.
Yeah, because I already had previous concussions in middle school. Because it's just leading up to that, it was like, this probably not the best decision to just keep moving forward.
No,
so,
yeah.
I gravitated towards sports where some people weren't trying to knock me out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a rush. You enjoy it, but then once you experience that, it's like,
once you get your bell rung a couple times.
Yeah. I love the stories of people who are defensive ends, and they'll be up and they're like, oh, I've got a straight path to the running back. And he sees the pulling guard out of his eyesight. He's like, buddy, you have no idea what's about to happen to your life right now because you're about to forget a whole lot about it.
Definitely
because
for
you're
a
about
couple
to get
minutes.
destroyed over by this 350-pound lineman that's going to blindside you in your ear hole.
What'd you play in basketball? What position?
Guard.
Yeah.
Kind of quick, fast, a little twitchy. So
can you dunk?
I mean, I had some minor just injuries, so I could, but right now, probably not too much.
Yeah.
But now you've got some guys in the league that Kyrie Irving doesn't dunk a lot.
Play under the rim. He
can he can have finesse on layups and stuff like that. So that was probably your game after that was I just have to get crafty around the rim other than just slamming home.
And then seeing Steph Curry when I was around that middle school, high school age, seeing him take over from the 3-point line, you kind of gravitate towards there.
So Memphis definitely a basketball town. I mean, one of the greatest basketball cities in the country.
Of course.
Did you go to Grizzlies games, Tigers games?
I didn't go to a lot, but I definitely went to some.
Yeah,
kind of through I know for sure when we were younger, we had the summer programs. We used to go to the games, and when that was in season, we would go to their games.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I always hear about Memphis. This is a good basketball town.
Always has been. No, there are people in Memphis. There are players in Memphis who never really played college ball or never played pro ball, who are some of the best basketball players in the world.
Yeah,
they just didn't play college ball and they went to the pros. Yeah, because I know they'll have the Bluff City event. Some of the other events, it's just crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, what about music? Memphis is a great music city too. What kind of music you like?
Tell you the truth, I consider myself a music fanatic. So like any type of music, I listen to it honestly.
Oh, good.
So,
yeah, and you have a lot of live music opportunities in Memphis.
Definitely.
Too. Yeah. Do you play any music or sing?
I used to, and I was actually just talking to my mom about that. Like, I used to play the trumpet, the violin, and I don't know. As I got old, I kind of went away from it because of sports. But
you're kind of busy now.
Yeah.
But someday, but you have a foundation where you could play the violin again.
Yeah. And I was actually thinking about getting back into playing the piano. So
no. See, if he was from Nashville, it'd be the fiddle, but he's from Memphis, so it's the violin.
Yeah.
It switches no matter what.
That's right.
Depending on the town that you're in.
Yeah. But no, blues, jazz. Memphis has just got such great music.
Yeah.
Even hip hop and soul music and gospel music. It's a great place for music.
Just the music that help others, like even somebody you don't even know, it just help you connect with them. And, the music.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we should talk sports.
That's one of my favorite quotes whenever we get off track on this podcast. Chris just goes, maybe we should talk maybe we should talk about whoever sport it is, whoever's up. Getting into it now, 2 PRs in the previous meet, 200 meter, 400 meter down at Little Rock. Season's been going well for you. What do you feel like's been going right here?
It's just the mental aspect of it. You know, coming off of surgery in the summer and getting back into it. It's like just I don't know. I feel different. I say like it's just I'm locked in. I know what I want, and I'm willing to just do whatever it takes to achieve those times. And you know, like when you're racing, I mean, you're racing opponents, but you're racing the clock, and to be able to PR and just the 400 is I got the school record in it, and it's like every time I PR, I set the school record, and to set the school record, I got a PR. So it's just like.
You got to do something you haven't done before.
Got to do something every time. It's like if I want to achieve that, I have to do something that I haven't done before. So
did surgery and injuries make you mentally better?
I say so. Yeah.
How?
It's just the toughness. It's just like you gotta keep persevering. Just like don't allow just a glimpse of not being able to run, just being stuck on the couch. That 2 months, don't let that stop me from just keep pursuing what I really want.
Yeah, and what you just described is what all the great athletes say. They're not competing against everybody else. They're competing against themselves.
Yeah, I think that's track is kind of that sport where it's like it's more individualistic to where like it's more so on you, but that aspect of it is like that's what helps. And to keep going forward, to have that mindset of I just want to be better than how I was last year. That helps.
And what you said, track a lot of times is the individual events and things like that, but something that you've been a part of, a couple school records in the 4x relay. In the relays. What about that team aspect with, again, you're pretty much kind of focusing in on yourself a lot of the time, but then practicing for the relay and an event that UT Martin has been really good at in these past couple of years. How do you get a good relay team together? What makes that a special thing?
It's just how we practice, just being able to just be together, and we get to a meet and it's like we know we have to run, and it's like you coming off your individual events and maybe you're not feeling the best the rest of the day or like going into the event, but it's like to know we doing it together as a group, and it's like we're not just doing it for ourselves right now, it's for the team. The name across our chest is say Skyhawks, so that's what we're doing it for right now, and to be able to come together, like I said, it's just
and taking some pride
in
what's
like,
across your chest.
It's not just me right now, it's us right now. Like, we're trying to put our school on the map every time we step on the track. So
Khalid's got practice at 1, but we got one last question for you. Alumni Classic coming up this weekend in Jonesboro, and then OVC Championships a little bit later on. How are you all looking? And then you also just trying to finish the season strong and be able to go out with an exclamation point.
Yeah, I say we're looking pretty well. It's just, just trying to get to like the process of just staying healthy. Say that's the big part. Just staying healthy, not being like too injury riddled going into like the later meets as we are. Just keeping it even keel until that time of conference. Just going out there and giving everything we have to try to succeed.
And be ready to go all the time.
Of course.
All the time. Well, Khalid, thanks so much for joining us.
Someday, can we be guests on your
Yes.
live stream?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would actually love that.
Okay, all right.
So we can play Call of Duty together.
Of course.
Y'all
We'll get
can play
Chris
it.
on.
I'll watch.
We'll get Chris.
I'll take
no, you gotta be
Dramamine and
on.
I'll watch.
Hey, Chris, we'd play Search and Destroy, Chris. Would be the limit. You don't even know what Search
I
and
have no
Destroy
idea.
is. We'll have to teach him. Khalid.
It's all right. It's a little learning curve, but we got
Okay,
we
all
got
right.
you.
Once we get up to the higher
I
ranks.
think one of the two of you will be nicer to help me than the other one.
Oh,
But
okay. No, I would just. What's the word? I just gaslight you the whole time. Oh,
Whatever.
Chris, go over there. There's people over there. You just
Whatever.
get sniped by.
Thank
the
you for being
sniper
on the
shot.
show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to even talk about how bad he'd be at Call of Duty now. God.
If you gave me a month to prepare,
No, say it. Oh, say it.
I would do whatever it took to beat you because
No,
I'm
you
competitive.
wouldn't.
Because that's what I have: wisdom and competitiveness in my soul.
Do it.
I'm sorry.
Shake my hand. Shake my hand. In 1 month. Go get Call of Duty.
Not now, but maybe.
Oh,
later.
okay.
No, you gotta give us some time. Give us some time.
Give us some random game. Let's give us some game where we both have the same time frame. Give us some random game that he doesn't know and I don't know, and then give us a month.
Have you ever played Fortnite?
Oh, yeah.
Not
How about
really.
Apex?
I don't really like Apex that
Ah.
much. But I haven't
That's the
played that
game.
much. Yeah, no. Okay.
Oh, well, how about it's a new game, Marvel Rivals?
There we
I
go.
played it a little bit.
See, I mean, you played almost everything for real. Just the good games, I say.
Yeah.
Can I secretly pay you for tutorials and
Yeah, I got
lessons
you.
so I can beat
You
him?
know, on the side. Just,
Yeah. All right, that's it.
That-
We'll talk about it
yeah,
after
we're going to
done.
talk. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Khalid, thanks so much for your time. As always, good luck the rest of the
for
season.
sure. Appreciate you.
And we're going to go ahead and take a break. Keep it right here, Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And we're back. Davis Gregory with Chris Brinkley here at Zaxby's and Martin Tennessee. Our final guest.
Oh, nice.
2024-2025
Yeah,
Skyhawk
we have
Sports
two
Talk.
of the best.
Yes, we saved the best for last.
What an honor.
The dynamic duo.
That's right.
Okay, the Farmers. Head Coach Chelsea Farmer joins Assistant Coach Daniel Farmer from UT Martin Softball. Thanks so much for joining us here.
Happy to be here.
Where's Oakley at in Foster?
School. They're both
Oh.
at daycare. We call it school, but yeah.
We couldn't,
I mean,
we could have checked
She
them
would have
out.
been the best guest.
Yeah.
We would have had her.
I'm not sure we would have gotten a word in though. So all the questions would have had to been geared toward her.
Gosh, that would have been so great, though.
It's a good idea for the future.
For the next year.
yeah. Yes.
For the next
yes.
year, we'll
She'll be 4.5 next spring. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Lots of talk.
So what are we watching? What are the movies and TV things going on in the house?
So we're not big like Scream people.
Okay, good. That's a good thing.
She gets a lot of Paw Patrol with my parents.
Yeah.
And the babysitters. She honestly loves watching sports.
Nice.
She loves basketball. She asked during like March Madness. She was like, "Can we watch a basketball game?"
She watches a lot of gymnastics.
Okay.
We have her in gymnastics class on Wednesday evenings, and so she likes to watch like Friday night. What do they call it? Friday night something on
Friday Night Lights on SEC
Friday Night Lights of
Network. Yeah.
gymnastics.
Okay.
Like collegiate gymnastics. So we watch a lot of that. But
She's
yeah,
a
we're
sports
not.
fan.
She gets enough screen time from my players as well. So that's
On the-
how they get her to like them. Is here, Oakley, come watch this on my phone. So and she's
Yeah.
also a little scared. Like Frozen, she can watch like 30 minutes and then something kind of scary, in her eyes happens. So then she's over it. So we're not quite to that point, but I'm okay as long as we can keep off the screens as long as possible.
No,
and
that's a
I'm
good thing.
So,
I just
yeah.
know most parents, but when their kids are between the ages of like 2 and 14, they don't watch anything because they're watching whenever. But y'all don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
No, and really, we're not home just a whole ton.
Right.
So we pick her up from school, we go home, we eat, he watches some sports, we play, we read, we bath, we go to bed. So it works out.
Oakley's talking about watching March Madness. So y'all probably fired up about that. Like, yes.
Yes. Oh, I am. I'm a huge
He is for
basketball
sure,
fan.
yeah.
You could watch the. Did she make a bracket?
This is
Next year, probably.
Yeah, this is the only year in a long time that I didn't make one. But no, she actually really enjoys basketball. So
I was. That's
it
what
makes my dad heart really happy.
Yeah. Yes, she likes something
Yeah.
that I like. Yes, this is great. We can watch this.
What's it like being married and coaching together? I mean, do you have to have? I mean, we can just ask the real questions here, but there have to be
Yeah.
times when you don't talk sports.
Sometimes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, in this whole year that we've been working together, you're probably the second person that's ever asked me that. But But I think
Are you
like
serious? You're
Yeah.
joking. No,
No,
really?
yeah,
Are people
I
scared
get it
to
a lot.
ask?
I get it a
Oh.
lot.
I don't.
They don't ask him, but I get that question a lot.
I think like softball wise, we definitely see the game like completely different as individuals, and I think that's kind of why it works because like when we work together, it kind of fits in. But we like set balances too. I think when we go home, for the most part, when we pick up the kids and go home, like it's mom and dad mode. Then they go to bed. Then we start back coach mode until like we get to go to bed.
It is something we enjoy. Both of us enjoy it, so I think it's not really a negative thing, you know. So even if we do talk ball all the time, we both kind of enjoy doing it, and we both are very passionate about it. So you know, it was obviously Foster is 7 months old. He's starting to sleep a little bit more, so there's not as many midnight conversations now. But for a while, it was like, you know, here we are up at 2 a.m. talking about the lineup or what practice is going to be like.
That was so cool.
Whatever it is,
Or
yeah.
looking at like we're scrolling Twitter trying to find
Yeah,
like a new recruit. I'm like, hey,
recruiting,
what
I
about
mean,
this girl?
So in a lot of ways, it's beneficial because we don't really get on each other's nerves with it most of the time because we both want to be having those conversations.
Yeah.
So it's honestly
But you're
pretty cool.
together a lot in a lot of
Yeah.
different situations, working together to accomplish goals.
Yeah.
At home, on the field, recruiting, like
Yeah.
you said. It's 24/7.
Well,
I think mom and dad mode come first.
Yeah.
But then like we're very, you know, like passionate about this job, so like it's a close like second. And then sometimes Oakley calls us out and it's like, hey, enough ball. That's her like quote. She's like, enough ball, mom and dad. I'm like, gotcha. So we'll wait till they go to bed and then we'll start up again.
she'll tell us to stop. She'll be like, just stop talking. I'm over here. I mean, you know, she'll be like, y'all are supposed to be talking to me is usually her
She
words.
keeps us honest.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's kind of funny, but you know, it's just one of those things where we also got married later in life, so we kind of were both independent human beings when we got married, and both were very established just as our own people.
Yeah.
But now it's fun, you know, like it's fun for both of us to do this, and so it's something that we do get to do together, and that's a joy of, you know, that's kind of the whole point. So
Yeah.
The real question is, you should probably ask Maddie. She's our like third.
yeah,
So like we
What
think
is
it's
it?
great,
Yeah.
but she's the
yeah.
she's
What
the
does
third
Maddie
party.
think about working with two married people?
What do you
We're not
think? What do you
sure.
think about
She probably has the truth.
Yeah, she's, if we want
Or
the
the
truth,
players.
if we
Yeah.
want the truth, we talk to Maddie or the
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
Or the players too. We'll get Dylan on here. We'll get
Yeah.
Allie back on here too and talk about that.
Yes.
But first year though that you all both coached together, I mean, what has this experience been like? Because I mean, you knew it last year where you're away from the house a lot, and even in years prior too.
Yeah.
But how awesome has it been then to know that, oh, like we're just going to see each other like all the time, and that's
Yeah.
good because of the travel and everything with that too.
It's for me at least, it has been a really cool adjustment. Obviously, you know, having the kid, that's been kind of a caveat because with Oakley, you know, when I would leave, I at least knew she was being taken care of by her dad. So,
Right.
in that aspect, that was a little bit easier because it was hard for me, but I knew it wasn't as hard on Oakley because I was like, she's with her dad. Now, you know, she's with either his parents or one of our wonderful babysitters. We have a very good village, and we would have not survived the spring without all those people. But that has been a little bit more of a learning curve, I guess. But they've both done great with it. But it's on my end, it's been really awesome because I don't have to miss out on as much time, and plus I have somebody that I trust, that I know he knows what he's doing, and so it's just fun to like have that camaraderie and bounce ideas off of each other that are actually good, thoughtful ideas. So.
You're together so much. Most couples text each other constantly. Do you even have to text each other? Or
Yeah.
No, we still do.
We have separate offices for a reason.
So you'll
That's true. Yeah.
and she they're next door, but she can't hear a lot. So sometimes
Okay.
I'm like, did you hear what I said? She's like, no.
I love it.
So sometimes I walk in the hallway and I'm like, I'll just ask you a question. She's like, oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, our work personalities are very different. Our normal personalities are very different. So it's kind of fun. It's been
It's
interesting.
cool that you seem to embrace it and respect it. And
Yeah, we're opposites for sure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we
Give
do
us
that.
examples. Just a simple example.
First example.
Yeah.
He likes to work with music on. So
Oh.
if he's in the office before me,
With
he's
AirPods or
No.
well, if he's the only one in there, no. But the music will be blaring, and like if I'm in my office working, I need like silence, or else I'm
Yeah.
like typing the music into my, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
so right there off. He's got that music loud. I'm like, I'm going into my office. I'm shutting the door, so just don't bother me.
I'm just like one of you.
Woo.
No, it's confusing. TV, music, anything that's better than what I'm doing will get my attention.
Yep, 100%.
Well, the girls have this like huge boombox that they listen to in the locker room, and I guess it was last weekend I got there first, and nobody was there, and baseball wasn't there, and so I was like, I mean, I had the wall shaking, and I was like, as soon as baseball comes in, then I'll turn it back down or whatever. But I mean, yeah.
Are you to the age yet that the players are playing music and you have no clue what it is or who it is?
No.
You're not there yet?
She might be.
I don't know if it's an age thing or like a preference.
Fair enough.
We get a lot of it from them, though. I feel like I know what their music is because we let them choose the music. But I feel like you should give an example of our differences.
Well, I mean, they want to listen to my playlist a lot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at that.
They do. I swear.
So
what
what's
is
the
your
other
playlist?
difference? How is she different than you are?
Yeah.
You can answer that one.
I already did.
I mean, I like a lot of different music. It just kind of depends on what mood I'm in and how I wake up. Which is different every morning. She like as soon as she wakes up, she's like happy and like smiling, and I'm like, I need like 2 hours. And Oakley just like me too.
Not even just 15 minutes.
Oh, no.
I need
When I was teaching, like my first 2 periods, they were like, "Don't mess with Coach Farmer." Like, give him till like 9:30, and then he can talk.
Do you drink coffee?
No.
No. Okay.
I've been trying to get him on the coffee train for a long time, but it don't work.
Energy drink?
No. I can't. I don't do caffeine.
Do you stay up too late?
No.
No, you just wake up needing
He
to wake
gets up early. He just doesn't want to function or like talk. You know,
I get
like
that
he's
too.
up.
I
He
get
just,
up at like 5:30 or 6.
I'm like
but I
up.
just
I'm
want to
ready
like
to
wake
go.
up.
Like let's go for a run. Let's go get some coffee. Like let's
No.
do all the things from 5 a.m. to like 8 a.m.
No, do not. Yeah, I am not moving from this bed for at least 30 minutes. I'm not getting up.
Which of the two of you is sharpest at 9 o'clock at night?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
If-
going down.
if-
Y'all
we-
are opposite then.
Yeah, we are. If we didn't have kids, she would probably work from like 5A to 5P, and I would work from like 8A to 8P.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
we would have a good overlap, but then like I need 3 hours at the end. She could use up 3 hours at the front.
Yeah.
Once I get the kids down to go to sleep, I'm right there behind them. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, see you later. I'm going to bed. I mean, and I can clock out. Like I can go to bed like just
Within
like that.
seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
great.
It's,
And it seems like one of us doesn't like to go to sleep as much. or
it just takes me a while. Like
Yeah.
after the kids go to bed, then I need like my time to like wind down, make sure I like close up the day. Did I get practice done? Did I practice ready for tomorrow? Like all that stuff. She's like, all right, I'm out. And she's gone.
Can you sleep when traveling? Can
Yeah, I mean,
She if you didn't have the microphone, she could fall asleep right here.
no.
no,
Let's
I'm
we're
not
gonna do the
letting
rest of
it
the
happen.
interview.
talent.
I can sleep pretty much. Like if I need to be asleep, I can. But now,
Yeah.
season is just a different beast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're just constantly, even both of us, like if we do, or like if I do wake up in the middle of the night to take care of him, I'm like on my phone recruiting, looking at Twitter, or I'm like trying to plan out the next day. I want to stay ahead, and so those thoughts are just kind of always there. Whereas summer and fall won't necessarily be like that, but the spring has been a different
It's
beast.
just a
And
different one.
even
Yeah.
if we travel without the kids, you know, and we can actually get some sleep, we usually don't get as much just because we're sitting there talking until 11 p.m. about the lineup and things like that. So
Yeah.
So I mean, now that we have both y'all, I mean, the obvious question is, how did you all meet and everything like that? What's the story in that?
She
I
tells
said
it better.
if you asked
ahead.
this,
Okay,
I would
alright.
get to answer this question first, and then you can.
And then we can have Daniel
Yes.
chime in
So,
on his. On
but I'm
his
going to
take
give
on it.
you the honest answer.
Okay.
But you have to believe me when I tell you the honest answer.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Chris.
He's probably like,
Chris.
he might know where this is going. I'm not sure. But anyways, we met at UT Martin. He was actually the GA for softball my
I was
junior and
there.
senior year.
Right.
Yeah. I'm an only child, so I'm a rule follower by nature. And everybody's like, oh, there had to have been something going on when you were playing, but there really wasn't. You can't get into the Hall of Fame when you're doing something crazy like that. Like you got to be
That's
pretty
right.
locked in and focused. So we actually didn't start dating until 2016, but we met here. He was the GA. He actually worked with softball for a year after I was gone. So we kind of I was still in Martin after that. I took a 5th year, so I was still in Martin, and we kind of became friends after that because we could, at that point he was somebody I knew, and Erica was still around, so I still had some teammates that were also taking 5th years, and so we started to hang out. But we did not start dating until 2016, and it just kind of was one of those God things that just the path led me back here, and
When
he was
she came
still
back to
here,
Martin,
and
that's when we like started hanging out
yeah.
and stuff.
So I mean, that's when we got married. People have those flyers of like we started dating on this time, and we got blah 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 on this time, and so we met in 2000. 11.
Right.
But we started dating in 2016. So I made it clear to those people that were at our wedding if there was a big gap there.
But if anything, as different as your personalities might be, you had a lot in common because you had lived a lot of the same experiences that were shared.
It's hard. Like when we have recruits here, they're like, oh, like, because I always tell them, okay, I coach here for 3 years, and I won 2 championships, whatever. And they're like, oh, what about you? And then they make the connection. Oh, y'all's years lined up, and I'm like, I promise you, it's not like that.
Or they see the pictures in the hallway, and because sometimes if they don't ask, we just don't bring it up, and they'll see the pictures, and then they're like, wait a second. Y'all are both on here, and we're like,
I promise it's
not like that. But
could you have ever imagined way back then in 2012 that you'd be here right now?
No, I really couldn't have, and when people ask me that, I'm like, there's no way if you would have asked me when I was playing if I ever thought anything was going to happen. Not even once.
Me either.
Being an only child, I just really didn't think about things, which sounds silly, but like I would have never thought to have dated a coach or anything like that. It just was not on my radar.
It happened years later.
Yeah.
No, you were a pretty good softball player.
Yeah. Thanks. I had to work really hard, and I just didn't have time to even for that to be. I'd have been too scared.
Yeah.
I was. My parents put the fear of God in me of like, you will keep your scholarship and you will make good grades, and if not, you're gonna come back home. And I was like, all right.
And you did both of those.
Yes. So I was determined to do both of those.
Yeah.
The players that we've had on, we've asked them, could they hit you in your prime? And I'm like, exactly. I'm like, I don't, guys, I don't.
Well, he would be the one you would know.
I don't need to answer that.
Okay.
I really don't know what the comparison would be like. They all are begging me for a video, and I'm like, I don't have any. I'm old.
We've got to find the tape.
I don't know.
We've got to find it.
There's some out there. Surely.
I'm not embarrassed by it. I just I don't think none of these things. That's what I tell them all the time. I'm like, you guys are so fortunate to have ESPN Plus and just the media stuff. We didn't even do any of that back then. We had our headshots, and that was really it. So,
well, the game has changed. Are players better now? Technology's changed. The game has changed.
I think the game has definitely changed. I think the athletes has changed too. I know the first time I was here recruiting athletes is way different than how I recruit athletes now. Mm-hmm. I think the whole system is going into showcases and all that. And back then, when it was recruiting, it was you could have one team, one pitcher to go out and do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And now it's just really different.
Yeah.
So I honestly think it's just it's a whole different game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not been that long, but I feel like it's a whole different
But it's
game.
changing quickly. Yeah, it hasn't been that long, but it's really evolving every 3 or 4 years quickly. Yeah.
It is. And I think I do think hitters are better today, honestly. I think it used to be a pitcher's game, and now it's very much a hitter's game. Mm-hmm. And there's just so much technology available to hitters that's not available to pitchers. So I do think that's kind of the name of the game. People pay for home runs is what I always tell people. Nobody wants to. A lot of people don't want to watch the 1-0 ball game. They want to come and watch people hit home runs. And so I think that's the way the game is going toward, and it really wasn't like that. There was a lot of close ball games, back when I was pitching. So it's just different. Better or worse, I'm not sure, but definitely different.
One of the things you are not afraid to do is make a pitching change, and for strategic reasons. You were a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my fault.
How did you being a pitcher really though impact how you think about that?
Sometimes I don't know if it impacts me for the better or the worse, because I do hope the best for my pitchers, and I have that, I know that I wanted to stay out there, but I also know the game has changed. So that's something in the last 5.5 years I've really been very intentional about, is learning how to make that adjustment and be a coach and not just be a head coach and not just a pitcher's coach. So that's, and even the past 2 years of just being the head coach, I've really tried to work toward that. So it's sometimes more difficult than you think, and that's really the number one question you ask any coach is, how do you know when to make a pitching change? So it's
and your instinct on that has to be different again because you were a pitcher.
Different.
It is.
But we're seeing the trends change, particularly in Major League Baseball. It's amazing to me how many pitching changes are made in a game. You would never see that 10 years ago.
And pitchers are different now.
It's very different. It's more of like a pitch by committee, and it's someone, I can't remember which coach told me this, but a coach that talked to me last year was like, it's really turning into a game of how many innings. So so-and-so's going to go for 4, so-and-so's a 2-inning pitcher, so-and-so's a 3-inning pitcher. And so really instead of having like my number 1, my number 2, it's like you have, hey, she's a 5-inning girl, she's a 2-inning girl, she's a 6-out girl, she's a closer. So it is lending more toward that way,
And we have
which
so
is
much-
kind of fun though.
And we have so much film too. We know, like, going
Yes.
into, like, when we have a game plan, we know, like, this pitcher is going to attack the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Then the next pitcher is going to come attack 7, 8, 9, 1, and then I think our film situation is changed so much, and the technology is out there, and we would be, unintelligent if we didn't use it. And
Do
there's
you
so
go
much.
far enough back coaching where you still had VHS tapes? Or you're not that far?
I'm not that old.
No? Well, how were the games? But in 2011, how were the games archived? Or
I don't
We didn't
think
have
they-
film back then.
I don't know
Yeah,
of
we
any
didn't have film back
yeah.
then. We did when we were here. We had like scouting reports. So like, I would email, a coach that played TSU and say, hey, give me your scouting report, because that was one of the other assistant coaches' like main responsibilities was to make a scouting report
so
every
it was
year.
all done by our type.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now with Synergy, you
Yeah,
can see
we don't-
every
you see
single.
every
yeah.
twitch, every
Yes.
right there that she's throwing
Yeah.
fastball
Mhm.
every single time that
I
she
love
does
it.
one of those.
And our
So
players
fun.
love it too. I mean, that's something that we did this year was get Synergy and really like dove into film or whatever. And Maddie's really good about getting our scouting reports ready, but our kids do it a lot now. I mean, our kids are really
Yeah.
bought into the Synergy. So
I didn't mean that as an insult. Dude.
I'm
I
not
just
that
don't
old.
remember. I just don't remember how people
It's
watched
okay.
I don't
He
remember.
is older,
we didn't
so
have
he's
any
older.
film on them back then.
That's
We-
so
it was
crazy.
straight like paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hoping a coach would share
Yeah.
their games with you.
And you couldn't share in conference, so that was a little bit different. So we would go to like at the previous year's conference, like notes or whatever that we had.
So do coaches talk to coaches less now because of all? Oh,
100%.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. At least about that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, Davis, take over. I'm sorry.
He's just trying to show my age over here.
yeah, no, he's trying to kill you over here. He's trying to just expose you on
You
the
had to be recording games
okay.
somehow in
I don't
2011.
think we were.
That's wild.
If there is, I don't know
Yeah.
that we know.
No,
about
I
it.
agree
You
with
never
you.
like called our games back then, did you?
No.
Yeah.
OVC
No.
Digital Network.
No,
Uh-uh.
we weren't on yet. No.
Now maybe
There was some kind of
at the end. When did y'all start OVC Digital Network?
Probably 14, 15.
Yeah, I think it
something
started
like
like my last year.
and it could have been away games. There was some kind of something maybe on the radio that parents could listen to, but it wasn't like
Live
it wasn't all the
stats.
time. So I don't know
Alex
if it
would
was
do
just
live
my
stats
senior
the
year
whole
or not.
time.
But
even basketball, they would have the VCR. I mean, they would have the cameras
Now
in
we
the
could
90s.
film.
I didn't know
You
that.
could set up a film like in film.
But you wouldn't exchange it with the other
No,
teams
no.
like they did in some other
No.
sports. Yeah.
That was a big no.
Yeah. Well, but you were required to in other sports. Like you had
Really?
to. Yeah. Even in high school, like it was a law that you had to give them your previous 3 games.
Yeah.
But that never was a softball thing.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
But now Synergy just gives
Yeah.
everybody
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Oh,
You got it
Wonderful.
all.
Yeah.
You can watch
And it's
whatever you
all-
want.
It's,
Yeah.
Well, it's too much. It could be too much. You have to decide.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah.
where you trust your instinct and where you trust the analytics.
And I think
Yes.
some players are like that. Some players don't want to know, and some players do. So I think that's the benefit of having it is some players really watch it and really take on it. And some players are like, no, I don't want to know, and they just play the game. So it's nice.
I mean, if you're in a slump, you don't want to go back and
Right.
watch yourself in a slump.
watch yourself go over.
Yeah, but I'm sure some players do that they're
Yeah.
pressing so hard.
Mhm.
Some do, and that you have to kind of make them find a balance because you'll have some that'll just watch it until they're, going crazy
Yeah.
up here, and I'm like, look, you just don't look at it anymore. So
Yeah.
it comes with its pros and cons like anything else, but it is very beneficial to us as coaches to have that strategy.
Yeah. And that's whatever the nature of softball is. I mean, there are a lot of
Yes.
ups and downs when it
Yes.
comes to how well you're playing.
Yeah.
But you can also jump out of that and turn it around to the positive just like
Yeah,
that. That's
that's
the
true.
fascinating thing to me.
That's true.
Yeah.
Senior weekend coming up. Just one senior on this team, a very young team, but Allie Robinson's been here for 2 years. What has she meant, to both y'all for this program in these last 2 years?
Allie is just I wish I could keep her around here for forever. I mean, she is great. She is a coach's player. She is somebody that you love to coach. You can give her constructive criticism, and she buys in with you, and she wants to help with it. So it's like a conversation. It's me and her having a conversation on how we're going to get better. What do you think we should do? which is awesome. That's what you want. You know, she's very invested into her progression as well as the team's progression. You know, and then you can touch on the phone call part of it, but she's just been so fun. You know, she told us probably in the fall when we kind of started talking to them about leaders and who's going to lead this team. She literally looked at me and she was like, I just don't talk. That's not my thing. You know, she's a lead by example player, and I knew that from last year. And you know, she just said that talking's not really my thing. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to keep pushing just because that's what I do. And that's what our whole coaching staff has done this year. And sure enough, she says things in huddles. She talks. She comes up with ideas, and I'm like, yes, that's a good win. And she's great. She wants to be a coach, and she's just. I've really seen her progress in 2 years, which is hard sometimes when you don't have a player for that long. But I feel like we've formed a really good relationship, and she's been one of the best joys of this year.
I think so too. She's like you said, she's a player's coach, which we kind of have a different relationship or whatever connection. She's kind of like my sounding board. I mean, you're the only senior, so of course you're going to hear it from me.
Yeah.
But sometimes after, like, you know, poor games or whatever, I'll call her. And then sometimes I don't, and she'll call me the next morning. Well, I was expecting a phone call last night, Farmer. I'm like, I almost called you. So it's been really fun to coach her. I mean, I didn't really know her last year, but this year it's been fun because she does want to coach. And so, like, I'm trying to help her develop, like, this is kind of how you go through, like, a coaching process or a coaching season or whatever. So it's been really fun. I mean, she's kind of like our sounding board for the team, and she's really taken on that I would say this spring for sure. She's been really fun to coach. I wish we had her longer. She's just old.
It happens.
You're gonna clip that and you're gonna show it to her later. Someone's gonna be like,
she took a shot at me, so I can take a shot.
Oh,
at
well,
her.
no, she did. She said she said that she took like 450 to dead center or something like that. Yeah.
She's been great though. She's awesome.
All right, good luck here in this week. Thanks so much for joining us both of you all today.
We enjoyed it.
We ended the podcast with two of our best guests, right?
That's
here.
wonderful.
right.
Yeah, we'll take that.
There
Thank
we go.
you.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us,
Thanks
and good
for
luck here in
having
the rest of the
Yep,
season.
sounds good.
Thank you.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And that'll do it for the 2024-25 season of Skyhawk Sports Talk. Chris, what a year has been. It has been a pleasure hosting this podcast with you as well. All of the off topics, all the insults from Coach Simpson, your lack of defense of me with Coach Simpson, you know.
750 boneless wings. It happens.
I would love to know our numbers on what we've put up here. I just tried the surf and turf today. Very good. But no, the amount of boneless wings that we've eaten together, it could feed a village.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I just outed both of us.
Let's do it again next year.
Yeah, let's do it again next year.
Right.
And to all of our fantastic fans and our great student athletes, coaches who have all joined us, we thank you all so much for coming on and tuning in with us. And for those that have come in and even watched the show live, we appreciate your support as always. For Chris Brinkley, myself, Davis, Gregory, make sure to go to utmsports.com to catch up on all things UT Martin. And for all of our great crew, we sign off and say God bless from Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.